Thank you so much for joining us here at Indigo Moon, where we are revisiting an experience. Years ago, there used to be a commercial. I believe the title was Keep America Beautiful. And in this commercial, you had a native Indian gentleman, and he was in a canoe. And he was trying to get from the rural area where he was leaving and coming into the city. And as he moved closer to the city, you saw a newspaper in the water. You saw different items that should not have been contaminating the water. And then as he came to shore and he pulled his canoe, up through the soil, and he walked. And as he walked closer to the city, he looked up, and there was smoke coming from the different factories, and people driving by and loitering, throwing things outside of the car window, cigarette butts, paper bags, residuals from going to the restaurant, a fast food restaurant. If we continue to treat our earth this way, where will we live? When we don't take care of our surroundings, what happens? Even a home that's unlived in becomes condemned, and then the plumbing stops working. Nothing works properly because the home was not treated nicely. It wasn't treated respectfully. Just as we like to take care of our bodies by making sure that we're drinking water, when we're finished with that water bottle, we should be recycling. Just as we finished eating something, or even if we didn't finish eating it and we no longer want it, it's not so easily discarded when you throw it in the street and have someone else come along and have to step in it because now you didn't clean up behind yourself. If you have anything that you finish eating, please throw it in the trash can. When the commercial comes on and it says, or even when it's going off and it says, make America beautiful, or keep America's beauty, regardless of what country you're in. This should be something that's second nature. Even when you're at home, it starts at home. Cleaning up behind yourself and making sure that, the house looks a certain way. It's important that we keep these things in mind because as we think, we grow. So let us begin to think of even the basic things. This is something that's second nature. You're walking down the street, you're finishing something up. There's a garbage can less than 5 feet away in most cases, and you throw it in the trash can and you continue to move on. In this commercial, this Native American there's a tear that drops from his face as he's looking at America and wondering what happened. This is something that should be taught. There's a book, actually, that says Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. Very good book. I forgot who the author is, but I'm sure if you Google it, you can find it. And it speaks of things that are just really basic knowledge, things that we should always do, saying thank you and please, saying, appreciating the people in your surroundings, just being respectful of each other. Something that I don't know if it's being taught in every environment, but these are basic things that we should keep in mind as we walk throughout our day, as we drive throughout our day. Being respectful to others because you want the respect to be given back to you. This is something that the Bible even speaks of, the Torah, the Quran, all these things being taught. Second nature, let us be respectful to your neighbor so that your neighbor will be respectful to you, okay? And this is something that I'm just bringing this up because in all honesty, our poor children, recently some of the experiences that I've been having, interacting with our children, I'm wondering, maybe if it's not being taught, we want to make sure that we are trying to implement it even in our language, in our behavior, so that they will, if they're going to mirror us in their behavior, perhaps they can mirror us through right actions, through making sure that you are showing some appreciation of your environment as well as the people. So let us keep that in mind, and thank you so much for joining us, Indigo Moon.